TikTok UGC, a business model that lets you make serious money just filming simple product reviews on your phone. But starting out, it can feel overwhelming. What kind of content should I make? How do I actually find brands that pay? What should my portfolio even look like? And how do I stand out when it feels like everyone is trying to do this now? Well, if I had to start over knowing what I know today, here is exactly how I would become a TikTok UGC creator and do it fast. If you don't know who I am, my name is Timothée Chanu. I'm 24 years old. I've grown over 3 million followers on TikTok. It's made me my first $1 million. And today I run an agency called Young With Solutions. We have over 50 employees and are fortunate to make over $6 million a year. Through this journey, I've also helped over 200 individuals make UGC their full-time job with zero experience. And all of this started with just an iPhone. So let me save you years of trial and error. I'll break down in this video the 6 steps that if you follow them and actually put in the work will make you a legitimate UGC creator who gets paid within a couple of months. Step 1 is going to be reverse engineering your goal. So let's talk math. Most of you will jump into UGC without understanding how the money works. You hear $10,000 a month from creators online and you start filming random videos hoping something happens. But that's completely backwards. Before you create anything, you need to understand the economics. So let me break down exactly how UGC creators get paid. There are 3 main ways. One-off projects, a brand pays you a flat fee, maybe $150 to $500 for a single video. You deliver, they pay you, transaction is done. This is where everybody starts. Then you have retainers. A brand pays you a monthly, usually $1,000 to $3,000 a month to create a number of videos on an ongoing basis. Maybe that's 4 videos a month, maybe that's 8, kind of depends on what you negotiate with them. With retainers, you have more stability as your UGC creator and can basically do this as a full-time job. This is what most of the market is currently doing. And finally, you have the usage rights. When a brand wants to use your video as a paid ad, that's worth extra money. Creating the content is one price, but letting them use that content across all of their social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, and so on, and put some ad spend behind it, that's a different price. Usage fees can literally double how much you make per video. So let's say you're charging $200 a video. To hit a $4,000 a month, you need to make 20 videos. That might sound like a lot of work if you're juggling different clients, but you can also just land 3 retainers at $1,500 each, and that's $4,500 a month with way less chaos. The same income, same stability, but fewer headaches. And if you're smart, on top of that, you have usage rights, and now you're suddenly pushing $6,000 to $7,000 a month without adding any extra work. When I understood this, I stopped chasing the one-off gigs and started focusing on becoming indispensable to all of the brands that I had retainers with. So before you start filming anything, understand where the money actually comes from, and it will shape all of the decisions that you make onwards. Step 2, we're going to pick your creator style. Now, I've worked with hundreds of creators, and the ones that succeeds the fastest have a clear style. They know what type of UGC creator they are. Let me break down the 3 main lanes. Lane number 1, you have the specialist, where you pick one niche and you go deep, whether that's skincare, fitness supplements, kitchen gadgets, whatever it is, you become the go-to person in that category. The advantage here is that you build expertise fast. Your portfolio looks focused, and brands in that space see you as someone who understands their audience. But the downside is that you have a smaller pool of potential clients, and if this niche is slow, that might keep you stuck. Now, lane number 2 is what I call the chameleon. Why chameleon? Is because you stay versatile. Today it might be a protein bar, tomorrow you're talking about a skincare serum, and next week it's a productivity app. You adapt to whatever the brands need. The advantage here is that you get way more opportunities because you're never boxed in. However, the downside is, frankly, it's way harder to stand out. Your portfolio is going to look more scattered, plus you're competing against everyone. Number 3 is personality. This one is different. You're not defined by the products you review, you're defined by how you review them. Maybe you're funny or brutally honest, or you have some cozy aesthetic type vibe. Your vibe is the product and the personality is what sells. The advantage is that you become more memorable, brands hire you for you, not just the kind of filming skills that you've developed, but the downside is that, well, it takes way longer to develop and you need to have a genuine, natural personality that resonates and translates well on camera. So, with that said, which lane should you pick? If you're starting from zero, I'd actually recommend starting as the chameleon. Take on any opportunity that you can get, learn what type of products that you enjoy filming about, and see what comes natural to you. Then, after 10 to 15 projects, you'll start noticing some patterns. Maybe skincare videos work particularly well for you, or maybe it's tech reviews. Whatever it is, when you start shifting towards something that you are better at, you essentially become a specialist. And the personality, well, that develops over time, whether you try it or not. The more videos you make, the more unique style emerges. You don't need to force it, just let it happen. The point is, know that there are different paths, pick one intentionally, not accidentally. This is exactly how I started my journey. My first videos were about chess, poker, guitar, tennis, whatever I could think of, and over time I started to specialize in tech. And that's because this is what was getting the best results. I loved talking about tech, and that turned me into a specialist. And over time, as I started to build more and more of my own personality, I became known for the Underrated Websites series, where essentially I had my own version and my own way to review websites, and I became known for that. Right? So I started as a chameleon, then became a specialist, and then I had built this personality. It's really just a transcending journey that happens over time. Step 3 is the 48-hour portfolio. Now, everyone tells you need to build a portfolio, but nobody tells you how you can do it without spending weeks on it. You don't want to be stuck in analysis paralysis. You want to start making money fast. So, here is exactly what I do if I had to build a UGC portfolio from scratch in 48 hours, genuinely. Okay, in the first 2 hours, I would do product selection. So, walk throughout your home, open your bathroom cabinet, your kitchen, your desk, find 5 products that you genuinely use and actually like. Don't pick random stuff, pick things that you can speak about authentically. If you hate the protein powder you bought, don't film it. If you lack enthusiasm, it will show on camera. Okay, so once you have the product, just write them down and that's your list. In hour 3 to 4, I would do research. So for each of the products, I would spend 15 minutes on TikTok looking at other creators that are talking about similar products and see how they go about it. What's their hook? How do they film the videos? You want to avoid doom scrolling here. I know how easy it is to get stuck up in the algorithm, but you want to search with intention. So search the product name, search the category, and save 2 to 3 videos that feel like it's something that you could replicate. You just want to understand how the format works here, right? So think of the hook, how it's filmed, so on and so forth. Then hour 5 to 10, you go straight into filming. It's one product at a time, and for each product, I want you to create 2 versions. A talking head video style, where you hold the product, speak to the camera, explain why you like that product, and that should be a 30 to 45-second video, no more. And a version B, which is a voiceover with B-roll. So you film the product yourself, and maybe in different angles, in different scenarios, and after that, you record a voiceover separately explaining it. This gives you range because some brands want a personal connection from a talking head and others prefer the cleaner aesthetic through voiceover types of videos. And now you're gonna have both. Once you're done with all of this, I would spend the next couple of hours, so let's call it between hour 11 to hour 15, just doing simple editing. We don't need to do anything fancy here. You want to cut the dead space, add some captions, make sure the audio is clean, but don't overthink transitions or effect. Again, we want to keep it raw and authentic. This is what works on TikTok. You can use CapCut on your phone or your desktop, but I would even just recommend editing on TikTok directly. This is what I've done for all of my videos and how I grew millions of followers. It was filmed and edited and published directly on TikTok. Once I'm done editing, I would spend the next couple hours just assembling and putting everything into one folder and create a one-page PDF in Canva. On there, I would put my name, one sentence about what you do, and links to each of the video, which would have been uploaded on Google Drive. Underneath that, put your contact information, and that is it. You now have a portfolio with 5 products, 10 videos, and 2 styles for each of these products. And by the way, I created a free Canva template for you guys, so if you want to grab that, the link is right below in this video. Okay, step number 4, how brands actually think. You need to understand how brands actually think about UGC. Most creators approach this from their own perspective, like I want to get paid to make videos, but honestly, brands don't really care about that. They have a completely different set of problems. Problem number 1 is they need content consistently. Running ads on TikTok or Instagram or any other platform burns through creatives fast. A video that works today might be dead in 2 weeks. So they need fresh content all of the time. They can't produce it in-house because it's usually quite expensive, and so they would gladly outsource this to you so they can focus on making better and more products. The second problem that they have is that their own content looks like ads. When a brand films their own videos, it feels way too corporate. And of course, people scroll right past that. They need content that feels like it came from a real person, not a multi-million-dollar corporation. The third problem is they don't know who to trust. There are thousands and thousands of people calling themselves UGC creators now, and most of them flake, miss deadlines, and deliver literal garbage. Most brands have already been burnt, and trust me, I've seen it. They're not looking for someone who can just film. They're looking for someone who's reliable, professional, and is easy to work with. So, when you're reaching out to brands or presenting yourself, you need to speak to them about these problems. Don't say something like, I'm a UGC creator and I'd love to work with you. Instead, you want to say, I've created authentic product videos for you that doesn't feel like an ad. Here, what do you think? And here is my portfolio. Do you see the difference? One is about you and the other is about solving their problem. Now remember, brands talk to each other. So if you do great work for one brand, they'll mention you to the other brand owners that they know. This is how I got into collaboration with Gymshark, Amazon, Duolingo, and all these other big brands. I had originally done a good job with Shopify, who reached out to me, and because I did wonders, they referred me to all of their network. So when you land this opportunity with a brand, make sure that you seize it and over-deliver. I've seen a single strong relationship turn into 4 to 5 client referrals alone. The flip side is also true. If you miss a deadline, deliver sloppy work, or you are difficult to communicate with, word gets around, and your reputation can be ruined in a split second. So treat every single project, even the small ones, like it could be the lead to the biggest opportunity of your life. Because often it does. Step number 5, the outreach system. Now that your portfolio is ready, you understand how brands think. Now you need to actually get in front of them. So look, outreach is just a volume game. You're not going to send 10 messages and land 5 clients. You might need to send 50 and get 3 responses. That's just how it works. So let me show you exactly how I would approach outreach if I had to start over again. First, you build a target list. You open a spreadsheet and you want to put a minimum of 100 brands in them. Where do you find them? Well, you can go to TikTok and search at product categories. You can look at which brands are running UGC style ads. Those brands are already spending money on this, so they are likely warm leads. I would also browse TikTok Shop. Brands selling there usually need content. Same thing with Instagram. Look at sponsored posts in your niche. Note the brand names and put them in the spreadsheet. Then I would look at products that you actually own or would want to use. You'd be surprised by how many active brands are looking for creators. For each brand, you can find their email, usually on the website or in their Instagram handle. Second step is I would make a specific video to them. Now this is the part that nobody does, but this is exactly why it works. You want to pick 5 to 10 brands from your list, go buy their product if you don't already own it, or find a way to get it. And here I'm not talking about a generic portfolio piece. You want to make a genuine video featuring their product as if you were already hired by them. You want to put real efforts into this. A good hook, clean filming, solid edits, and make sure to watermark it as well so they can't just download and run away with your video. And the third step is going to be sending your video directly. Now, when you reach out, you're not going to say something like, hey, do you want to see my portfolio? Instead, you're saying, hey, I made this for you. So something along the lines of, hey, I'm a UGC creator and I love your product name. I actually went ahead and make a quick video for you. Here is the link. No strings attached. If you like it and want more, I'd love to start working together. Let me know. And that's it. You just went from being a random person asking for work to a professional who already delivered value. The brand will watch it and immediately see this brand gets the product, they know how to make content, and they took initiative. That's really rare. Now, most creators don't do this because it feels like free work, but that free work is what gets you through the door when everybody else gets ignored. Now, the fourth step here is follow-up. If you don't hear back in 4 to 5 days, you want to make sure to follow up. Just keep it short, just like, hey, bumping this up. Let me know if you get a chance to check out the video I made you. Happy to chat if you're looking for more content. If you still don't hear back after a week, you can do one more follow-up and then move on to the next brand. 70% of my deals came from follow-ups, not that initial message. People are busy, their inboxes are full, so don't be afraid to send another message. Number 5, we're going to want to track everything. In your spreadsheet, mark who you contacted, who saw the video that you sent, and what happened. If you want the exact spreadsheet that tracks your pipeline of leads, that will also be available in the link down below. Sixth step is going to be volume over luck. Now, even with this approach, most brands realistically will not respond. That's completely normal, but your conversion rate will be way higher than sending generic DMs. And every demo video you make, even if a brand doesn't bite, becomes a portfolio piece that you can use elsewhere. If you make 10 demo videos, send them out and land 2 to 3 paying clients, now you're in business. And on top of that, you got 10 strong portfolio pieces to show to the next batch of brands. So that's an entire ecosystem. All right, step number 6, your first 30 days. Let me give you a concrete timeline. If I was starting from absolute zero, here is exactly what my first 30 days would look like. Now, day 1 and 2 will be spent on doing the portfolio, using the 48-hour method that I described earlier. No excuses, by the end of day 2, you have a working portfolio with 5 products and 10 videos. Day 3 to 5, I would research and do the targeting. I would spend time studying the brands and watch UGC content on TikTok, understanding what's already working. And I use that time to build my list of 100 target brands. And here, I would also create an outreach template ready to go. After that, from day 6 to day 15, I would do an outreach blitz. This is where most of your energy goes. Contact 5 to 10 brands per day, make them free videos, again, watermark it and send the link so that you start getting that initial momentum. That's 50 to 100 total outreach over 10 days. Track everything in your spreadsheet, follow up on anyone who doesn't respond after 4 to 5 days, and let the money come in. Day 16 to 20, I would follow up on the first conversations. By now, you should be getting a few responses, but if you don't, it might be because you need to tweak some of your emails. Since people get thousands of competing UGC creators for that same brand, you might want to find a more original angle. Now, for the brands that are interested, you want to get on a call as soon as possible. On that call, you want to understand their needs and send a proposal with pricing. Now, keep following up with your outreach list and keep adding new brands. You want to build this constant pipeline so you always have new responses and you are always negotiating deals with existing brands that responded. If you stop reaching out, then you will slowly run out of brands interested and will have to start from scratch again. So never lose that initial momentum that you're building for yourself. Now, day 21 to 25 are going to be the first projects that you landed. If you've done the work, you should be landing your first 1 to 2 projects around this time. Maybe paid, maybe just a product exchange, whatever it is, make sure that you deliver exceptional work. Communicate clearly with them and ensure that you hit all of your deadlines. Day 26 to 30, you want to evaluate and adjust. Re-evaluate on what has worked, what didn't, which type of brands responded the best, which outreach messages got the most replies, and you want to use this data to refine your approach for month 2. Now, reality check, not everyone will have paying clients by day 30, but that's okay. Some people will need 45 days, some others might need 60 days. The point is that you have a clear structure and you're not just trying stuff and hoping. You're executing a system, and if you're doing it for free or product exchange early on, don't feel bad about it. You're just building portfolio and goodwill in the universe that will eventually get paid back. It's like the more you give, the more you get over time. You're building your portfolio with real brand names, you're getting reps, and you're proving that you can deliver. So that's the full breakdown, the 6 steps to become a UGC creator from scratch without wasting months figuring it out the hard way. If you want the outreach spreadsheet and the portfolio template I mentioned, just grab them below, completely free. And if you want to go deeper, I've got a free school community with over 2,000 members where I break down hooks, scripts, what's working right now, all of it. The link to that will also be in the description. And I'll see you in the next one.